I do hope you're having the best of a week, I should say. Today does not look to be very busy for those who are actually trying to move into the city. It's a freeway, I should say, freeway movement for most of these particular vehicles, and of course everyone is trying to reach to their different places of work or different businesses in one way or the other, and it's definitely something that you should be able to at least get to understand and get to know. But as you get to know or understand about what is trending within town and within the business community, what you need to as well understand is that you can invest today with as low as 15,000 Ugandan shillings, especially if you're investing around
no data, no problem.
All you need to do is take on Zabu. Zabu is a platform by Alltech East Africa, which is giving you that particular advantage to kickstart your investment journey today. Star 292 hash is the USSD code that you need to use and kickstart off your investment with the platform Zabu. My money, my future. Alltech East Africa, do something new. And well, tell you what, the only new thing that you can do today, or that you can choose to do today, is to invest in securities and of course other products available on the platform. Zabu markets open at 8:15 a.m. and closing time is 3:15 p.m. East African Standard Time. Please do note that these markets are fully closed on the weekends and on public holidays. Zabu, my money, my future. Alltech East Africa, do something new. And of course, away from that, where we do start off now is rotating around the agricultural credit facility. This is something to do with the review which has been done of small business recovery funds, and of course also according to what the Bank of Uganda is estimating and what the Bank of Uganda is focused on now is on commercialization of agriculture, that they do believe should be a key priority. As of course, when you look at Uganda's agriculture sector, it is one that is actually providing quite a number of opportunities for those in as stakeholders or participants. And of course, also looking at the fact that despite the fact that when you look at commercial agriculture, some of the challenges is the lack of funding, but nevertheless, those within the sector are definitely trying to put themselves in positions where they will be able to earn more from agriculture. And with this particular update, we look at the ACF, that is the Agricultural Credit Facility, as Michael Atig Ego, who is the Deputy Governor, Bank of Uganda, bringing more to context.
Today, we are here to review and improve the operations of the ACF and the SBRF. As you all know, agriculture is the backbone of our economy. It does provide jobs for 2/3 of Uganda's labor force and contributes to nearly 1/4% of our national GDP. Notwithstanding this huge potential, this sector faces several challenges, with access to affordable financing being one of the most significant challenges. That's why our initiatives like the ACF and the SBRF are very, very crucial, and we're here today to ensure that they are working as effectively as possible. One thing I would like to assure you that Bank of Uganda on its own cannot reach the intended beneficiaries. So we are working through the participating financial institutions, and that's why we want to hear from you. How best can we reach the last mile of the beneficiaries? So you may recall that the government of Uganda set up the ACF in partnership with commercial banks, the Uganda Development Bank, microfinance deposit-taking institutions, MDIs, and credit institutions as participating financial institutions. The ACF provides medium and long-term financing to projects in agriculture and agro-processing, focusing on commercialization and value addition, mainly in agriculture. The SCF loans are advanced through the PFIs, the participating financial institutions, at less than market lending rates because of the risk sharing that is involved. And the SCF, as you all know, is administered by the Bank of Uganda under Memorandum of Agreement. The SCF has grown steadily in volumes and value of loans extended to farmers and agro-processors in Uganda. As at the end of 2022, that is 31st December 2022, a total of 751 billion Uganda shillings has been disbursed to 2,970 eligible projects across the country. The government's contribution amounted to 380.7 billion in disbursements, up from 21 billion in 2010 when it was operationalized. So you can see this phenomenal growth of state of education. So currently, out of the 33 supervised financial institutions we have, 22 are participating financial institutions in this initiative. So despite the scheme's success, it has not yet reached its full potential due to several challenges. This includes the fact that some participating financial institutions have a non-participation and low uptake. So I want to hear from you, why is the uptake low? There's also limited financial literacy on the side of the potential beneficiaries, as well as inadequate sensitization of both the credit officers and the intended beneficiaries, among others. Therefore, the Bank of Uganda is currently reviewing the operations to address these gaps and improve uptake of both the PFIs and intended beneficiaries. You know, success has got to be sustained, right? So in as much as we have achieved this, we are looking for where are the gaps in these initiatives so that we even continue scoring more and more success.
All right, and of course, you can definitely see what the Deputy Governor of the Bank of Uganda has been revealing, that regardless of the fact that they've been able to achieve, or that we as a nation have been able to achieve some of these things, still there's a lot to be desired and there's a lot to work on, especially rotating around accessing the funds, or what is most important is understanding how to access these funds, especially for the people who are into commercial agriculture. Then pretty much take a look at those who are actually engaging into the same of value addition, and also putting people part and parcel or inclusive of all these particular discussions. And it's where you get to realize that, well, as the country, we need to be very vigilant, and at least we need to include our fellows into this particular one. Our fellows, especially those in the agricultural sector in the country, this is something that we should be able to at least include them in one way or the other as we continue to look at this from the angle of what is actually coming in from the agricultural credit facility. And well, that aside, now let's head into our press review this morning. And now with the press review, I've got the New Vision and the Daily Monitor, where the Daily Monitor has got an update here regarding the government team which is stuck in a pornography fight, a cocktail of legal and logistical issues, including the failure to procure a pornography machine, having a hamstrung a team of professionals the government tapped a few years ago to fight the vice, and now do only radio talk shows. What really happened afterwards? Then in West Nile, residents mobilized funds to compensate village men for electricity project. Then in other stories, Iron Sheets probe to be completed in 3 weeks, according to members of parliament, as Ms. Jessica Abibuka, the chairperson of the Parliamentary Committee on Presidential Affairs, says that they expect to release findings into the saga by the end of March, which is this month, obviously. And in the Prosper magazine, we look at finance. Public debt crunch bites as government freezes borrowing. This is according to the Daily Monitor. Remember, there is a lot of budget cuts in the next financial year. KCCA is set to build a 63 billion shillings traffic control tower. There is also an artistic impression of the tower in here of how it will look like. This is here with the Daily Monitor this morning. Then there is another report how Busoga will benefit from 200 billion rice project, which is slated to be in a Busoa Town Council, that is Bujiri district. Then also there is also another report on the perspective of the unending battles in regards to the evolution of the Ugandan doctors' strikes. How is it done and how is it going? Then in the other news, the IGG and Speaker declare wealth to one another. This is what was happening yesterday at Parliament as well, as different issues continue to prevail in Parliament. Now, besides that, we now take a look at the New Vision. With the New Vision, here is a report regarding drugs. Airport security has been arrested over personnel that actually deal in that is importation or allowing in the drugs as well, or what you could call drug trafficking. This is another report coming in this morning from the New Vision. Then police is probing gang attacking homes and raping women. This is another big report in here with the New Vision. Then compensation. Government has released 49 billion to livestock war claimants. Where are they? New Vision has more of the details here this morning, as 800 lawyers are scrambling for 70 magistrate jobs. This is another report coming in from law, from the law perspective of business. And then also the Education Ministry is set to automate schools' income declarations in this particular academic year, as they continue to regulate the education sector. Then budget. Opposition wants productive sectors prioritized, as the national budget will be presented come June this very year. And government releasing 49 billion to livestock war claimants, especially going to areas of the Acholi sub-region and the Lango sub-region, as well as the Teso sub-region. So there is a budget allocation for all these particular one, as the Attorney General is said to pay 4 billion shillings in compensation, that is in court awards, according to what New Vision has put in place. And then lastly, land grabbing and corruption is one of the biggest threats in Wakiso, according to the RDC of Wakiso. So it is something that they are working on in order to continue fighting in one way or the other. Now, Uganda Investment Authority commends Kasita for embracing marine cargo insurance, as well as other stakeholders in the same matter. And of course, now that is it for our press review this morning. And you can clearly get more of the views from print media, that is New Vision and the Daily Monitor, to give you more of the update as this particular one does continue. But as we're summing up with what is coming in from here, there's also something to do with accountability. According to the New Vision, accountability, which has been seen as a must on the side of the Uganda Olympic Committee. This is another big report in here. There's also another special situation of Women's Day special. Remember, Women's Day will be tomorrow, and the issue here is managing female athletes, which is looking like a very daunting kind of situation as well. How to manage female athletes as well, in regards to not only focusing more on what you could easily say, or what you could call looking at financing or putting in place budgets for the women in sport. but as well as trying to manage them besides every little thing or every detail that comes to the responsibilities that are brought about by a woman being in such positions as well. But of course, the accountability does continue to be part of the entire discussion in the world of business. If you're to look at that, as fuel stations are set to create 15,000 jobs in oil and gas boom, according to a report here in the New Vision. Now, as we're summing up, coffee stakeholders have resolved to meet 20 million bags annual target. So it is 20 million bags of the annual target that has been set by those in the coffee sector. Stakeholders, those include the farmers, of course, those in the processing, and this is mainly looking at how we can increase our export volumes for our coffee in the country, because the largest foreign exchange earner in the agricultural sector, or for Uganda, is basically our biggest export coming in from coffee, if you are to look at that. And the informal sector group has received equipment from government. Another report here. And why should we be concerned about it? Because, well, the informal sector contributes greatly to the economy, and it's employing quite a number of Ugandans, especially those who have failed to make it up to get white-collar jobs. And it does look so viable for especially those who are putting themselves in positions of not just generally getting into, let's say, practicing the formal way of doing business, but mainly rotating around other kinds of sources of business and getting money from different avenues. And so the informal sector of doing things does look like the best way or the best answer to most of these issues. You're watching Smart Means Business. It's 23 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock. And of course, at this particular time, as we're heading out into the break, like I did mention at the start of the day, although the show, is that you should be able to realize that it's not so busy for the business community now. It is Tuesday. Normally on Tuesdays, the traffic is not so much tight as it normally happens on Mondays, because it's on Mondays it is very tight as early as 6. But on Tuesdays, traffic jam starts heating up as early as 7, around 7:30, stretching to 10 a.m. That is for areas around every area that is actually connecting to the city, because simply this is where the offices are set, and everybody who is waking up is actually heading to the same direction. So that is where you find that only lanes that are actually taking people out of the city seem to be very free in the morning, and then those that are actually heading to the city seem to be very busy. And it does seem to be the same case during night time, especially around 5 p.m. to around 9 p.m. East African Standard Time. That is in the night time. And besides that, now let's link up with Barija Andrew for the moment to at least see how the flow of traffic is and what is actually expected. As you can definitely see, what is coming in from, that is around Wandegea. For now, how now traffic has started heating up. I did mention earlier that it's pretty much more like when it's just around 7 on days like Tuesday to Thursday, besides Monday and Friday, you get to realize that at such a time, as you can see the images coming to your screen, is that at such a time traffic heats up and it becomes really tight. But as you can definitely stretch a little bit, you'll get to realize that not only in that same area, but most of the areas around town, or areas that are actually heating to town. Now, for those who are actually coming in from the sides of Gayaza, heading to the city, those who are actually coming in from Nankulabye using that same route, you can easily see it's just the mere fact that it's just morning. The traffic officers are already deployed for now. And well, it can be a bit, you can sit back and try to at least sketch a better program for yourself if you're to wake up and kickstart off your day as well. It is not something to be worried about, or it shouldn't be something of a huge concern, but obviously people need to at least work on making sure that they kickstart off their day by noticing a few of the changes and a few of the movements of the traffic. And of course, the traffic update is now taking us to our commercial break. When I do return, we shall be heading to Karibu, East Africa, and of course looking at the latest coming in from the world of the international news this morning. Good morning.